What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Lex and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I have my first declutter of 2025 for y'all. I'm a little late, okay? I meant to get this video up back in January, but February is my birthday month and it's just been a lot going on. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This one's going to be done a little bit differently from how I normally do my declutters, just because all of these fragrances have already been decluttered. But I did want to make a video just talking through the scents and also just kind of revisiting the direction that I want to go in as far as building my fragrance collection this year. So if you guys are interested in seeing what fragrances I let go of and why, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. As I jump into these scents, I will of course pop a picture on the screen of what these scents look like. But I'm not going to go super in depth about notes and things like that, at least not reading them off to y'all. I'm just going to kind of let y'all know what it smells like and move on from there. First scent that I decluttered, y'all, is Net Rose Jam. I picked that scent up last summer when Net was having like a warehouse sale and all of their scents were half off. Rose Jam is actually a very beautiful scent. It's definitely a fresher, slightly green rose with a more sweet vanillic dry down, and I actually really enjoyed the scent, but I just was not reaching for it. That's kind of my criteria going forward, you guys. I feel like I've said this in my last few declutters, but I really want to make sure that my collection is full of things that I reach for on a regular basis, or things that I would consider to be my faves. Even though I would say that one is more of a spring scent, and I may or may not have been reaching for it just because we're in the dead of winter. I've been wanting my sweeter scents, my woodier fragrances. I just never found myself to be in the mood for that scent, and therefore I decided to go ahead and let it go and give it a better home. But beautiful scent, definitely one that will get you some compliments. And if you are a more fresh green rose lover and you want a sweeter, more vanillic version, I definitely think that's one you should check out. Next fragrance that I decluttered is Essential Parfums Divine Vanille. I picked that scent up when I was in LA and I went to the scent bar, which is basically Lucky Scent's storefront, and I tried a bunch of different stuff. Towards the end of my visit, even though the staff in there was like super helpful, I feel like I kind of rushed myself to buy something just because I really did not want to leave the store without buying something, which the smartest thing for me to do would have been to just leave with a bunch of samples. But girl, I just felt like I had to leave with a scent. So I ended up leaving with Divine Vanille. And while I wore it in the store, it started off as one of those more aromatic vanillas, and it almost had like a touch of a fruity cinnamon type of vibe, and it reminded me a little bit of Commodity Gold mixed with Lattafa's Camera. So I thought I really enjoyed it. After I got home and I actually wore it a couple of times, you guys, I ended up getting a really strong incense note on my skin that just did not agree with me. So I went ahead and let that one go, because even if I layered it, that incense note was just sticking out a little bit too much for me, and she just did not agree with me. Also in the same category, which is another kind of aromatic spicy vanilla, I went ahead and decluttered my Ledda 18 Vanilla Nera. Thought that I liked that scent when I first smelled it, but again, once I wore it, there was something in that scent that really bothered me, and it was kind of like a cooling, almost like a menthol type of smell. I don't know what it was, but the opening of that scent smelled really nice. It was definitely kind of like a fresher, woodier vanilla. It gave me cozy wintry vibes. Like it had some woodiness in there, had some sweetness, but there was just something in there that smelled a little too astringent and almost chemically. It just did not agree with my skin at all, girl. So Ledda's 18 Vanilla Nera, she had to go, but I am absolutely obsessed with Bourbon Brulee. Like I talk about that scent all the time, I feel like, and I'm more than halfway through with that bottle. So I will definitely be repurchasing that one. And I also really love Ledda's 22 Oris. Those are probably my two favorites from the brand. Vanilla Nera, she just did not agree with me. Next fragrance that I decluttered is a Middle Eastern scent, y'all. And I kind of knew when I hauled this scent, which if you did not see that haul, I will link it up top. But I kind of knew when I hauled this scent, I was probably not going to end up keeping it. And I will admit, when I decluttered it, it did end up getting better and smelling better. And I could tell if I held on to it a little bit longer, it probably would have been amazing. But Lattafa's The Kingdom for Her. When I first got that scent, y'all, and sprayed it out, it definitely had kind of like a men's aftershave, men's cologne type of scent. It was supposed to be kind of a fruity, musky, floral type of fragrance. I feel like I'm starting to get in the mood for those types of scents now, but with that one, it was just not super well blended. I kept getting kind of like this barbicide type of smell, that blue liquid you smell in hair salons and like barbershops. I do feel like it was starting to sweeten up the longer that I had it, but again, really don't want to have to continuously let things sit if it's just not a hit for me right out of the bat. Most of the time, I do recommend that you let all of your Middle Eastern scents sit for a while before you make a full final determination. With what I'm trying to do with my collection right now, I just did not feel like doing all that, and it just was not a wow factor to me. So Lattafa's the kingdom for her. She had to go. Next scent that I decluttered, you guys, is another Middle Eastern fragrance that I hauled back in fall, I believe. And I love, when I say love how this scent smelled. But the issue was that it stained every single thing I wore with it. Lattafa's Janoon Rose. Janoon Rose is a very sweet, powdery rose, and it had this very sweet, syrupy amaretto note. So it was like rose, almond, it was a little caramelly, it was powdery. It smelled so good. It smelled like a sophisticated woman. If you are a fan of Mancera's Roses Vanille, it kind of smelled like that, but a little bit more powdery with a more syrupy, pronounced almondy syrup type of note. I really loved how it smelled, y'all, but for whatever reason, every time I sprayed that scent, which right now I'm definitely trying to spray my fragrances more on my clothes, it stained my clothes, and the juice is like bright orange. So I just could not deal with that. Like, it irritated me so bad. And I also do have a couple of other fragrances in my collection right now that I can kind of layer together to give me the same effect. So I was just like, girl, I'm not about to be staining my clothes every single time I wear this scent, no matter how pretty it is. So she had to go. Next fragrance I decluttered is Glossier's You Rev. Is it You Rev or You Reve? I feel like it's Reve because there's like an accent over the E, but that's another scent that I recently hauled. I like December perfume haul video. I will link it up top. I was not the biggest fan of it when I first tried it, but again, I wanted to give it a chance because it is in the same scent family as things that I really love. Those musky, fruity, second skin like florals or second skin like musk. I really love scents like that. And that one had, I believe, a buttercream note as well. So it had plum, buttercream, and a lot of notes that I thought I was really going to enjoy. So when I first tried it, it smelled a little bit like chapstick. And when I wore it, it smelled a lot like chapstick. So I went ahead and decluttered that one, y'all, because it just did not do enough for me. It smelled very much like those little chapsticks that we wore when we were in elementary school and middle school, and it just did not really do anything for me. But the other new Glossier scent, that one I really like. It's more of a creamy, woody, like sandalwood. I really enjoy that one. So I did end up keeping that one, but Glossier's You Reve, she had to leave the collection, girl, because I did not want to walk around smelling like chapstick. The last scent that I decluttered, y'all, which honestly, I'm going to put a picture of my actual bottle on the side because I just want y'all to see I did go through a large chunk of it. Like, it literally was half full and I probably could have finished it, but Bdk's Pas Soir. Y'all, when I first got that scent, I absolutely loved the fragrance. It smelled so amazing. I want to say the first time I got it, it was like summertime and I was wearing it all the time. But now when I would wear that scent, it's definitely a fruit patchouli fragrance. And before, I did not get like a super strong patchouli note, but now every single time I would wear that fragrance, I started to get this almost kind of dirty smelling patchouli. And I don't know if the scent just kind of changed in the bottle over time or what, but I promise you, it did not smell like that on my skin when I first got it. And every single time I wore it now, it literally gave me a headache from the patchouli that I was getting. So unfortunately, Pas Soir, she just did not work out for me. I do really want to try the Pas Soir Extrait because my girl Treasures of Alexis talks about it all the time. And I'm just like, maybe that one will be a little bit different. I don't know. But also I feel like that was just going to be a stronger version of the one I already have. So I don't know. If I try it, y'all, it'll definitely be a decant. But for now, as far as Bdk scents go, my favorite one that I've actually completely finished a bottle of is a Velvet Tonka, and I absolutely love that one. I would definitely try it again. I don't really need it right now because I have a Middle Eastern dupe for it, but yeah, that's definitely one of my faves. I do want to try more from the house this year though. There's the Vanille Leather, I believe I want to try. I want to try Tobacco Rose, and I want to find another fruity one that I can wear for like spring and summer. So if you guys have any other BDK recommendations, definitely let me know in the comments below. All right, you guys, that is it for this declutter video. Now, I do want to close this out and just kind of talk about my decluttering process going into 2025. If you guys have been here for a while, you guys know I have no problem decluttering things. My scent and preferences and just things that I want in my collection literally changes all the time. And I feel like now, especially since I live in New York, I want to make sure I always have room in my collection for things that I genuinely love. And I'm starting to notice that my collection is definitely acquiring more things that I'm either a little iffy about or things that I don't really reach for. And now that we're going into spring and summer, which is still freezing cold in New York, girl, like it's still freezing cold, but we are going into spring and summer. So I'm definitely going to be going through my collection and seeing like, okay, what types of scents do I want to reach for in this coming season? And also getting rid of things from this season that I did not wear at all, that I know I'm not going to wear next year. So that's kind of the direction that I'm going in. I really just don't want to have a collection of things that's collecting dust, girl, that never get worn. Of course, I'm going to review things for you guys, but as far as my personal fragrance collection, I really want to keep it very personal to me and have my signature scents. In a perfect world, I would have 5 signature scents, honestly, but that's a little unrealistic for me at this time because I do still have so many scents in my collection that I truly, genuinely love. And it's definitely way more than 5. So maybe one day we'll get there. But for now, girl, that is what my goal is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know if you guys are in the process of decluttering yourselves since we're changing seasons. Are you craving the spring scents? Are you still into the cozy, woody gourmands, girl? Let me know what you are reaching for in the comments below. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.